Hey guys, the Roblox JOJO community has been in flames with the release of a recent document. An own modeler slash developer named Jackie aka Wormmusic was exposed for being a predator. He's worked for That Crazy Adventure, A Bizarre Day, Stand Proud, RIU and various other JOJO games, and has been in communities. It's a 210 page, 27k words document outlining some extremely questionable behavior, sexual harassment, horrible work ethic, pedophilia, R-word, sending inappropriate stuff aka P-word to minors, and it's actually insane, man. Before we get into the document, shout out to this person for sending me the document. There are some heinous actions committed by specific groups and individuals who have interacted with and or taken important roles within the Paranoia Point Circle. Creators of the Roblox game Stand Proud. This document aims to publicly out these groups and individuals for their repeated offenses of misbehavior, narcissism, racism, abuse, sexual harassment, outright pedophilia, and defense of these offenses. It is written in hopes of spreading awareness, warning other communities about these groups and individuals, and encouraging others to come forward about similar cases. In this document, if you see us, it means the owner of Stand Proud and his team. If you see I, it means the owner of Stand Proud only. Information and characters. Jackie, Wormmusic, is the main focus of this document, an ex-developer of ours that we fired for leaking confidential information about the game, delaying models, and harming the environment of the development team. Since the firing, we've come to uncover that among other detestable actions, he has also shared child sexual abuse material, CSAM, and sexually harassed multiple women over a long period of time. Woomy, craven by the Woomy_Lord, owner of a Discord server named Woomacord here. He protected Jackie for his selfish reasons, lied about not knowing about his behavior, silenced and banned whistleblowers, and allowed people in this server CSAM, and manipulated an army of actual children to fight for him. Men's Austin 21767. Female Lord, highest staff of Woomacord, also protected Jackie and lied about not knowing about his behavior, involved in manipulating and perpetuating lies about paranoia, and doesn't think consuming child pornography is all that problematic. Meh, do destapletma play, meh, followed and interacted with furry lolican accounts, and excused it by saying that it was an accident. Also defends the many other pedophiles mentioned in this document, for obvious reasons. Fedorti, referred to as Marine sometimes, Fedorti, lolican enthusiast, following and liking multiple posts from lolican/shotican accounts. You know the document is gonna be fire when you see 4 degenerates listed together. Amy, Stargaze_R, one of the many victims that Jackie and his friends sexually harassed for years. Alice, Sin, another victim of Jackie's sexual harassment. Jackie, Jack B. Burgeon. Jackie, legal name, Jack B. Burgeon, is an individual who resides in Ireland and does freelance modeling work on Roblox. Some of you may recognize him from this unfunny meme that gets reposted by Twitter accounts every few months. The user named I'm Sorry Princess is Jackie. This meme took place in Sin server. He used the name CivilCrab3 on Roblox, now changed to Wormmusic. His other known alt accounts on Roblox are CivilCrab2, CivilCrab3. The Twitter/X accounts shown are all his alts. The account named Wisu has been deleted since, and the rest are unused. You can read the whole document, but I skipped a small part. Let's summarize this part quickly. Jackie was the worst person I have ever worked with professionally. He regularly leaked the projects he was working on despite being told not to repeatedly, old models, would lie about not being paid, talk badly of his co-workers who were extremely helpful with him despite his behavior, and would regularly speak ill about the game publicly across servers, because we didn't want to listen to his suggestions about the direction of our game. When we did approach him for feedback on ideas, he wouldn't even bother reading. He was extremely hostile and parasocial with the whole team, had an outrageous attitude with everyone, and would regularly take months to finish a singular model. Jackie's attitude was mostly directed at other members in the chat, but he gradually began to resent the developer team as well. Jackie also often publicly insulted people who posted their models in our creations channel, despite the multiple warnings issued. His behavior became so problematic that his co-workers, as well as my staff and management team, started issuing private complaints. This particular issue was one of the main reasons he was ultimately banned from the server. One of the complaints made about him to me privately for this behavior was by another model named Poppy, his colleague. Keep note of the sentence: "This guy happily dishes out extremely disrespectful criticism yet won't take it himself," as that's a recurring theme you will come to notice in the work ethic section. So basically this guy Jackie was getting paid a ton of Robux and could literally work on any passion project he wants, but he never actually got anything done, which is crazy. And when he did stuff he literally didn't even care. He was making a made in heaven model and it looked weird, and when the other modelers told him to change some things, well, he did, but it wasn't good still, and he didn't listen anymore. So he textured it, and when he was told it looked odd, he just told the other modelers to fix his model, but they didn't really have time. So when he finished the model after some time, it was unusable. It couldn't be rigged, meaning it can't be animated. I don't know much, because I'm not a rigging expert, but maybe because the model was made in a bad way, I commissioned him to model Stone 3 after the incident with Made in Heaven. Despite the team's reservations, we provided Jackie with simple feedback, such as fixing the forearm bulge and adding highlights on the stand. However, he purposefully ignored our criticisms once again. This time, he went even further by employing guilt trip tactics and also trying to get another modeler to finish his work, even though that modeler was never supposed to be involved. These kinds of actions demonstrate a lack of professionalism and respect for the team's time and input, and it's extremely frustrating when we have a roadmap for each developer and they have to compromise their own schedules to ensure someone else gets their work done. So there are more about the modeling stuff, but I won't be covering it. I will only cover this small part. He was working on a Maku Hitsune model, and randomly he decided to give it to someone else to make it, and just said his school starts today, but they caught him playing Your Bizarre Adventure, haha. Guilt tripping. Instead of addressing the feedback constructively, he instead started guilt tripping everyone in the private developer server, stating that we were planning to fire him, and that server didn't like him. Take note of this, as this is a tactic he employs later on. This behavior left everyone on the team confused and concerned, leading to messages directed at me about Jackie from multiple developers. His comments and attempts to manipulate the situation created unnecessary drama, and as a result, I had to spend a significant amount of time addressing these concerns and reassuring team members. It became clear that his presence was becoming more of a liability than an asset. All because we told him to fix his models. Absurd. Jackie gave us a Cairo map that was unusable because it contained about 2 to 3 million triangles. I spent several months ensuring every part of the map was recreated from scratch. I'm not blaming him for this, but I'm providing context. While discussing the map with Poppy to recreate some assets, Poppy pointed out how unoptimized the map was. He wasn't targeting Jackie with his comments, he was simply analyzing the map and pointing things out. Despite this, Jackie started lashing out at us, acting like a man-child, and shouting, "It's your fault you bought it." I tried to defuse the situation by telling Poppy not to go after Jackie. Poppy wasn't attacking him, but I could tell Jackie was clearly bothered by the critique. I thought this was the nicest way to handle it. This kind of behavior is extremely pathetic from him to start taking his anger out on the wrong people. During and after August, the leaking and trash talking in other servers really ramped up, with 2 of those servers being Pitfall Interactive and Wormmusic. Wormmusic is a Discord server owned by the user Woomy_Lord. Groups and individuals who are a part of this server's community are known to have shared confidential information regarding Stand Proud, spread lies in hopes of tarnishing others' names, plot to and/or forge evidence in spite of individuals, and coordinate targeted harassment. They are also proven to have an NSFW channel in their server, which they make available to minors on some occurrences without even asking them, argue in defense of pedophilia, and frequently exchange fictional child sexual abuse material, CSAM. He grew increasingly disillusioned with his colleagues, particularly Poppy, who he became extremely jealous of, as Poppy was widely liked by the team, delivered high quality models and often fixed his work. Jackie likely viewed Popper's corrections as personal attacks, rather than genuine attempts to help him. Instead of seeing Popper as a co-worker, Jackie began to undermine him at every opportunity. He would criticize Popper's contributions and make snide comments in the developer chat against him, and in private way he would attempt to discredit Popper's efforts and shift blame for his own shortcomings. Pitfall Interactive is the Discord server for the game That Crazy Adventure. In Pitfall Interactive he would vent his grievances with the game, and regularly boast about how he badmouthed the project he was working on. It's baffling how overconfident this dude is, and how inflated his ego is. He was probably under the assumption that no one would ever come across these conversations. He shows no shame in his actions or words. He would engage in similar acts on the main server, where every time we showcased or announced something about the game, he would shit on it for no reason. This kind of trash talking and lying about not being paid, or being paid very little money from someone within the team, is extremely harmful to the game's reputation and negatively affects players' perceptions, and it's extremely demoralizing to the rest of the team too. This is mostly just him throwing shit at the wall. I tried to gloss over game criticism stuff, because I don't think it's very relevant, and frankly I don't have much to comment on besides the fact that I've spoken to Alvin Blocks on multiple occasions. He's an extremely kind person and a talented scripter who would not appreciate his name being used in this manner. And I can't believe I have to say this, but my game is not influenced by ABBA. We don't use recycled assets. I don't know where he got that from. Him arguing about Stand Proud being better than That Crazy Adventure sarcastically is single-handedly probably the dumbest thing I've seen. He's literally fighting ghosts. No one has ever argued that except for him. Not even I would agree with that statement, and I created Stand Proud. This is as delusional as when people visualize their ox in an AMV before sleeping. No offense to anyone who does that. Even the people in chat call him out for this. In the 8th screenshot, he says mid-models. Does he mean that the models he created are mediocre, or is he referring to the game's models as being mediocre? It's ironic either way, considering he was the one who created them. Additionally, it doesn't reflect well on him if he purposefully made mediocre models for us and proceeded to hate us when we gave him feedback to improve them. I censored their names as I don't want any harassment targeted towards the individuals. Attempted takedown. After Jackie was upset with us for asking him to make improvements to his models, he decided it would be funny to do a prank by attempting to take down the game by secretly hiding a plug inside the D4C model when we were adding the stand to the game. He considered this a hilarious prank, clearly showing no professionalism or concern for the game. To put into perspective how serious this issue was, there was a model in Stand Proud called Jeffy, where the character was wearing a diaper over some shorts. This resulted in the test place being taken down, and Roblox refused to reinstate it. Roblox takes violations regarding NSFW content extremely seriously, and this could have resulted in the permanent takedown of my account and the game, with no chance of appeal. Calling this careless would be an understatement. This is purposefully malicious, and put the entire game at risk, and could have had severe consequences. I will be ending the video here, guys. Since this video is extremely long for me, and it took me about 2 days to make, and I want to play the strongest battlegrounds right now, so subscribe and turn on bell notifications so when part 2 drops you can go watch it. Please drop a like and goodbye, guys. Please do not send hate to anyone mentioned in this document. You can watch the rest of this 1v1